Hi everybody, it's Tatiana, and today I am coming to share with you a TBR video. I don't typically do TBR videos because I don't typically make TBRs, and when I do make TBRs, they are more often than not short-term TBRs, like for a readathon, or like Read So Lit, which is in the month of February. But this is something that I have been thinking about doing for a few months, and I said, you know what? You're gonna do it. And so this is going to be my TBR for the month of August. August is often called, for those who receive ARCs, ARC August, and during that time of the year they dedicate time to reading books that they have received accelerated reader or advanced reader copies from publishers or the author. I don't receive a lot of advanced reader copies in print. Most of the ones that I do receive I have requested on NetGalley, but what I do want to do this month is read the books that I have received as ARCs, the finished copies of those books, because if you're not aware, the ARC is not the final say-so often when it comes to the book finally reaching publication. A lot of times there are edits and changes in scenes that take place before the final copy of the book is actually published. And yeah, I have read the ARCs of these books that are on my TBR, but I have not read the finished copy, and that's what I want to do for the month of August. So somewhat it will be rereads, but really not. So I'm just going to share with you those books, and if I have already done reviews for the ARCs that I received of these books, I will link those either in the description below or in the card above if you want to check those out. Because these are not all of the ARCs that I have ever received, but these are the ARCs that I received, read, and wanted the finished copy of, so I purchased the finished copy. Okay, so first on the list, and these are not really in the order of what I'm going to read them in, they're in the order of what was the way it was easier to stack these because, you know, it's a little stack. So the first on the top of the stack is A Prince on Paper by Alyssa Cole. I received the ARC of this year and have already read it and done a review of it. Again, it'll be linked somewhere either up here or below. And yeah, so this is one, and this is the final installation in her Reluctant Royals series, and it follows Johan and I don't know if it's Nia is spelled N-Y-A. Kazan, when she did her review of it, she called her Nya, and I kind of sort of like that because of how Johan behaves when he's talking to her. Anyway, this is on the TBR. And then to keep the Alyssa Cole party going, I also have the finished copy of An Unconditional Freedom by Alyssa Cole. This is the most recent installation in her Loyal League series. Of the first two novels were An Extraordinary Union and A Hope Divided. I have a review for all three of those, the e-arc that I got of this, and I am really looking forward to reading this because I think there are some things that will be cleaned up in the final version that were not quite as together as I expected them to be in the e-arc for what I have experienced Cole's writing to be. So I'm looking forward to this, probably the most out of everything in this stack. I also have Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I got this as an e-arc, and this was actually the first e-arc that I read in 2018, and I wanted to read this sooner, but she pushed back the publication date for Children of Virtue and Vengeance. So I was like, well, there's no need for me to read this sooner to have this, and I did not request the e-arc of book 2. I'm not going to request it. I'm just gonna get it. But I was like, there was no need to rush to read this since it had been pushed back. It was originally supposed to be released June 4th, and now it's not coming out until December, I think. So this is on the list, and I'm also interested to read this because there were a lot of things that people brought out or talked about in their review of this finished copy that either didn't bother me when I read it, which is it's probably the thing. It didn't bother me when I read it, and I may talk about that if I do a final review of this. But yeah, I'm interested to read this after seeing some other people's reviews to see how I feel about this now. And then the last physical book that I have, I did not receive as an e-arc, but there's a rhyme. There's a reason to my rhyme. And that is Sorcerer to the Crown by Zen Cho. I actually received this in the second to last book bath box that I had got before Winx ended her subscription service from Winx and Ink. And I have not read it yet. And because I have not read this yet, I have not read the e-arc that I received of The True Queen, which, while it's not a direct sequel to Sorcerer to the Crown, it's a companion. What typically happens in companion novels is you do get a little bit of what has taken place in the previous novel along with the new story. And I just want, since I have this, I want to read this before I read the e-arc of The True Queen by Zen Cho. And so, yeah, that is my TBR for the month of August. And goodness gracious, it doesn't seem like a lot, but there are a lot of pages going on right now. So we'll see how well I do, how I'm excited about getting to these books. So hopefully that excitement fuels my reading and my schedule cooperates and syncs up with my excitement. We shall see. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good weekend, whenever you see this video. Peace out.